it's me again. I'm so sorry about my last video. I guess I really just wasn't watching the time. I was sort of getting into it and then it totally ended on me. But we were on page 58 right before part 2. It really sucked. Right at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and reread like the second to last paragraph starting on page 68, and we'll go on a few pages into the part 2. So here we go. It is computer. Oh my god, computer. Really? Okay. Starting over. It is computed that 11,000 persons have at several times suffered death rather than submit to break their egg at the smaller end. Mildred sat across the hall from him. What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. The captain was right. Here now, said Montague. We'll start over again at the beginning. So there you go, that was that. Now we're on part 2, the severe. No. I said that way wrong. I don't know what's up with me today, but I'm going to try it again. Deceive and say. Alright, start with the big T, like this. Okay, and here we go. Page 71. I'm going to like check my camera a little bit because it's uncomfortable, and there we go. Hey, read the long afternoon through, while the cold November rain fell from the sky upon the quiet house. They sat in the hall because the parlor was so empty and gray-looking without its walls, lit with orange and yellow confetti and skyrockets, and women in gold mesh dresses, and men in black velvet, pulling 100-pound rabbits from silver hats, and the parlor was dead, and Mildred kept peering at it with a blank expression, as Montague paced the floor and came back and squatted down to read a page as many as 10 times aloud. We cannot tell the precise moment when friendship is formed, as in filling a vessel drop by drop. There is a last drop which makes it run over. So in a series of kindness, there is at last one which makes the heart run over. Montague sat listening to the rain. Is that what it was in the girl next door? I've tried hard to figure. She's dead. Let's talk about someone alive, for goodness sake. Montague did not look back at his wife as he went trembling along the hall to the kitchen, where he stood a long time watching the rain hit the windows before he came back down the hall in the gray light, waiting for the tremble to subside. He opened another door. That favorite subject, myself. He squinted at the wall. That favorite subject, myself. I understand that one, said Mildred, but Clarice's favorite subject wasn't herself. It was everyone else and me. She was the first person in a good many years I really liked. She was the first person I can remember who looked straight at me as if I counted. He lifted 2 books. These men have been dead a long time, but I know their words point the one way or another to Clarice. Outside the front door in the rain, a faint scratching. Montague froze. He saw Mildred thrust herself back to the wall and gasped. Someone, the door. Why doesn't the door voice tell us? I shut it off. Under the door sill, a slow, throbbing sniff, an exhalation of electric steam. Mildred laughed. It's only a dog. That's what. A dog. That's what? You want me to shoo him away? Stay where you are. Silence, the cold rain falling, and the smell of blue electricity blowing under the locked door. Let's get back to work, said Montague quietly. Mildred picked up the book. Books aren't people. You read, and I look all around, but there isn't anybody. He stared at the parlor, He stared at the parlor that was dead and gray as the winters of an ocean that might teem with life if they switched on the electronic sun. "Now," said Mildred, "my family is people. They tell me things. I laugh. They laugh. And the colors, yes, I know. And besides, if Captain Beatty knew about those books," she thought about it. Her face grew amazed and then horrified. "He might come and burn the house and the family. That's awful. Think of our investment. Why should I read? What for?" "What for? Why?" said Montag. "I saw the damnedest snake in the world the other night. It was dead, but it was alive. It could see, but it couldn't see. You want to see that snake? It's an emergency. It's at emergency hospital, where they fill a report on all the junk the snake got out of you. Would you like to go and check their files? Maybe you look under Guy Montag, or maybe under fear of war. Would you like to go to that house that burnt last night, and rake ashes for the bones of the woman who set in the fire in her own house? What about Clarice McLean? Where do we look for her? The morgue? Listen." The bombers crossed the sky, and the crossed sky over the house, gasping, murmuring, whistling like the immense invisible fan circling the embrace. "Jesus God!" said Montag. "Every hour. So many damn things in the sky. How in the hell does those bombers get up there every single second of our lives? Why doesn't someone want to talk about it? We started and won 2 atomic wars since 1990. It is because we're having so much fun at home we've forgotten the world. It's because we're so rich of the rest of the world so poor, and we just don't care if they are. I've heard rumors. The world is starving, but we're well fed. Is it true? World works hard and as we play? Is it that well, I'm so sorry. Is that why we're hated so much? I've heard the rumors about hate too. Once a long time while, over the years. Do you know why? I don't, that's sure. Maybe the books can get us half out of the cave. That just might stop us from making the same damn insane mistakes. I don't hear those idiot bastards in your parlor talking about it. God, Millie, didn't you see? An hour a day, 2 hours, with books, and maybe the telephone rang. Mildred smashed the phone, and, she laughed, yes, the White Clown's on tonight. Montag walked to the kitchen and threw the book down. "Montag," he said, "you're really stupid. Where do we go from here? Do we turn the book in? Forget it? We open the book and read our Mildred's laughter. Poor Millie," he thought. "Poor Montag. It's mud to you, too. But where do you get help? Where do you find a teacher this late? Hold on." He shut his eyes. Yes, of course. Again he found himself thinking of the Green Park a year ago. The thought had been with him many times recently, but now he remembered how it was that day in the city park, when he had seen that old man in the black suit hide something quickly in his coat. The old man, leapt up as if to run, and Montag said, "Wait! I haven't done anything," cried the old man, trembling. "No, one said you did." They had sat in the green soft light without saying a word for a moment, and then Montag talked about the weather, and the old man responded with a pale voice. It was a strange quiet meaning, the old man admitted, to being a retired English professor, who had been thrown out upon the world 40 years ago, when the last liberal arts college shut for lack of students and patronage. His name was Faber, and when he finally lost his fear of Montag, He talked in a condensed voice. Whoa, what happened? Oh, sorry, my internet thing just kind of shut off for a second. It's really weird. Alright. Anyways, I'm going to read this last page and then we'll probably end it. Oh yeah. Looking at the sky and the trees and the green parts, and when an hour had passed, he said something to Montag, and Montag sensed it was a rhymeless poem. Then the old man grew even more courageous, and said something else. That was a poem too. Faber held on his hand over his left coat pocket, and spoke those words gently. Montag knew if he reached out, he might pull a book out of poetry from the man's coat. But he did not reach out. His hand stayed on his knee, numbed and useless. I don't talk things, sir," said Faber. "I talk the meaning of things. I sit here and I know I'm alive." That was all there was to it, really. An hour of monologue, a poem, a comment. And then, without either acknowledging the fact that Montag was a fireman, Faber, with a certain trembling, wrote his address on a piece of paper. For your file," he said, "in case you decide to be angry with me." "I'm not angry," Montag said, surprised. Mildred shrieked with laughter in the hall. Montag went to his bedroom, closed and slipped his file wallet to the heading "Future Investigations." Faber's name was there. Yeah, I'm reading. Sorry, my mom asked me, "You're doing your homework, right?" Yep. Okay. Okay, future investigation. Faber's name was there. He hadn't turned it in, and he hadn't erased it. He dialed the call on a secondary phone. The phone on the far end of the line called Faber's name a dozen times before the professor answered in a faint voice. Montag identified himself and was met with a lengthy silence. "Yes, Mr. Montag?" "Professor Faber, I have a rather odd question." We're just going to read the rest of it. "Rather odd question to ask." Okay, there you go. We ended on page 76, very top of page 76. So, I hope you guys are liking the book so far. When I first started reading the book, I thought it was pretty boring, but I think it's starting to get more interesting now. Doesn't really matter if it's interesting to me or not, because I have to read it anyway for school, so, yeah. Alright, I'll see y'all next time. Thanks. Bye.